Hi everyone, good morning. I hope I'm audible and you can all see me. Yes. Okay, great. So, welcome to Align to Love. Um, I will be reading out a message from Love Consciousness for all of us. And let's see how we resonate and what love has to say to all of us today. Okay. All right. Reminder to be fine with the change of defenses. We all have a right to defend ourselves and ensure our well being. There are several ways in which others around you defend themselves too. Some people defend by being aggressive or rude, whereas some people defend by being sober or obedient. As you change from within, people around you change as well. They often alter their style of defense, which may or may not be acceptable to you. However, you need to gently and compassionately understand and accept their need for the change in the way they defend themselves. Recognize if there are certain attributes in you which are making others so defensive. Resolve and rise above the need to witness defensive behavior in others. As you start accepting with awareness, the unhealthy patterns will also be recognized and resolved. We all wish to be a part of the relationship where we can be ourselves without having to put up a pretense and a wall. No one enjoys putting up a defense and being unnatural in a relationship. However, only a few relationships enjoy the security where everyone in the relationship can be themselves. To secure the relationship, people use various defense mechanisms, and these very mechanisms create more trouble and distancing in the relationships. The shift in the defensive ways could also create further conflicts. The short term remedial measure could be an open dialogue. And a better way to deal with this situation would be to allow all around you to be the way they are in a secured manner without a need to put up defenses, at least when they are relating to you. Okay. So often, when there are people interacting, any two people interacting, um, and we resort to sometimes blame games that okay, you did this, because of you this is happening, because of you this is happening, and so on and so forth. The moment you get into that space, what will happen to the other person? Obviously the other person will immediately put up a wall and start to defend this blame, right? No, I didn't do this, I do this because you do this. And the dialogue goes nowhere because now the person is busy defending themselves only. Now, this is the most obvious form of defense. But so many times when we feel suffocated in love, we feel that no one understands us or people don't get us. What we start to do is we start to play these defensive games. And these defensive games can be obvious defenses, like I just gave a scenario, or it could also be subtle things like, hiding the truth, not telling the whole story, choosing to keep quiet, walking away. Now, I'm not saying any of these are wrong, but again, the intent with which you're doing it, from where are you doing it? Are you doing it so that you can defend yourself and defend the relationship and not get into conflict? That is that the feeling that you are doing it out of? Or is it this space that okay, I know it's time to walk away, it's okay, let him or her talk, and so on and so forth. So the intent is very different, right? Now, the moment you um, don't let other people be the way they are, they end up being unnatural. They end up playing these defensive games. And Unfortunately, it is with these defensive games only later that we start having problems. Oh, you lied to me. Oh, you tell half truths. Oh, you're not yourself. You keep saying I've changed you. Like these are dialogues and things we say it out to each other so often. But have we thought that it's not just the other person? Uh, they have a right to defend themselves. So step one is to maybe sit and have a conversation about, uh, if even if they have the need to defend themselves, to do it in a healthier manner. So you also stop blaming, and they also have to stop, like, just downright say, like, no, I'm just going to defend myself. I'm not even going to listen to your point. That's one. But the eventual and the most harmonious way is when you can create a safe space and let the other person be the way they are. Then there is no need for the defensive games at all. You can also be the way you are, and the other person also gets to be the way they are. And that is when the relationship shifts from this whole thing of defending, offending, defending, offending, to harmony. And there is a flow of love, there is a flow of understanding, empathy, um, and you just let them be. And the more you let people be, the more their natural ways come up, and the more you can be naturally yourself as well. Yeah, so that's the message for today, that either be okay with the defensive games that other people are playing with you, let them defend themselves because they also have a right, or otherwise move past this entire drama of offending, defending, and create a safe space where people can be themselves naturally. Okay, so on that note, let's begin with closing our eyes. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in love, harmony, positivity. And breathe out the need to defend, the feeling that you're not protected. Breathe in and breathe out. And then return to normal breathing. And in this space, connect to your higher consciousness. Connect to radical consciousness. And connect to love consciousness. And with this, let's begin to recite with me or after me, with eyes open or eyes closed. I solve the defensive games. I dissolve the defensive games. I resolve the defensive games. I co-solve the defensive games. I super solve the defensive games. I awaken authenticity. I awaken the authentic me. I solve the defensive games. I dissolve the defensive games. I resolve the defensive games. I co-solve the defensive games. I super solve the defensive games. I awaken authenticity and transparency. I awaken me with authenticity and transparency within and around me. Let's repeat that again. I awaken authenticity and transparency. I awaken me with authenticity and transparency within and around me. I solve my need to blame. I dissolve my need to blame. I resolve my need to blame. I co-solve my need to blame. I super solve my need to blame. I awaken adaptability. I awaken the adaptable me. I solve my need to blame. I dissolve my need to blame. I resolve my need to blame. I co-solve my need to blame. I super solve my need to blame. I awaken adaptability. I awaken the adaptable me. I solve my guilts of not letting other people be their authentic self. I dissolve my guilt of not letting other people be their authentic self. I resolve my guilt of not letting other people be their authentic self. I co solve my guilt of not letting other people be their authentic self. I super solve my guilt of not letting other people be their authentic self. I awaken integrity. I awaken the integrated me. I solve my guilt of not letting other people be themselves. I dissolve my guilt of not letting other people be themselves. I resolve my guilt of not letting other people be their natural selves. I co solve my guilt of not letting other people be their natural self. I super solve my guilt of not letting other people be their natural selves. I awaken integrity. I awaken the integrated me. Today, let's also affirm I forgive myself for the blame game. I forgive myself for the blame game. I forgive myself for the blame game. I forgive myself for the inauthenticity. I forgive myself for the inauthenticity. I forgive myself for the inauthenticity. With soul's love, I transform and transcend these defensive games. With soul's love, I transform and transcend these defensive games. With soul's love, I transform and transcend these defensive games. And I peacefully progress with harmony and love. I peacefully progress with harmony and love. I peacefully progress with harmony and love. On that note, slowly come back to the here and now. Whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes. I hope you're doing all right. Okay, so have a lovely day. Yeah, I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye bye.